Deepika. I head the JAIN Sports brand. We're part of the JAIN group of institutions. This is a project that we've started past 1 year. We launch officially in June. So if you look at football, Indian football over the last decade, there has been a significant improvement in terms of leagues that are happening, in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of pathways for children. But what we felt that there is a large gap in the grassroots level of development. So what we thought that having the JAIN group who backs us, we've got education, we've got a fantastic ecosystem, and that is what will help bridge the gap that exists right now, which will help develop the grassroots layer that's drastically missing. We felt it's imperative that we bring in an international brand like Man City, who's at the best in the world right now. Bringing them in will help us bridge the gap. With our ecosystem, with their training model, we'll be able to create something in Indian football that hasn't happened so far. We're able to develop an ecosystem that doesn't exist so far before we lose talent to gaps that exist. So this is the right time to do that. We're at a cusp of something great, and bringing someone like Manchester City to join us will just help us take things to the next level. So the biggest gap that we see is that children at the grassroots level, children between the ages of say about 10 to around 15, they're currently at a stage where either they drop out because of lack of good infrastructure, because of lack of sustainable coaching over a few years. And the major thing is that children are forced to choose between academics and education. Unfortunately, as a country, we're still stuck in that space where we say that if you are putting academics a little lower and sports higher, we have not yet evolved to a stage where sports is given equal, if not more, preference. So that's the major gap that we've seen, and that's the major gap that we want to bridge. Our campus is a complete solution to all of this. We have a school on campus where a child just walks 1 minute from their dormitory to school. We're building a sports science center. We are building world-class partnerships such as Manchester City. We have coaches who are the best at what they do. We've got someone from Manchester City who's coming down. Our technical director is an ex-Manchester City player himself. So we have all of these points, which when we bring together is going to create an ecosystem that will bridge all the gaps that exist right now. So a child has to come into our academy and just focus on playing their game and enjoying themselves, and everything else will just follow and fall in place. We have a fabulous sports science center coming up, so we'll have strength and conditioning, we'll have sports nutrition, we'll have sports psychology, we'll have a fabulous gym, so that also exists. We've got a swimming pool for hydrotherapy, we've got everything on campus. So once a kid is inside there, we bridge the gap for everything. And we're not just saying when you're in the campus that a child's going to benefit from it. Because of the JAIN group, whose excellence in education is there for over 3 decades, we offer children pathways even beyond the field. So if someone doesn't make it big in the football space, we offer them careers. They can actually get educated in sports psychology, in physical education, in sports management. So they have alternate careers to come back into the sports ecosystem and continue doing what they love, if not on the pitch, but at least off the pitch. So for me and for us as a group, we do not look at success in terms of winning trophies or winning medals. When we are 3 years from now and we look back, what we love is to see kids who have sustained themselves through our system, kids who have grown through our system and who have come out of it as better people, not just better players. And the biggest testimony to us would be a parent coming out and saying, you know what, our child was at the Manchester City Academy with JAIN Sports. They were with them for 5 years, 6 years. They did not just become great football players, but they turned out into solid human beings. And that for us would be the greatest testimony 5 years down the line. So that's what we're looking at building here. Thank you, my pleasure.
From Namma Bengaluru, then Amchi Mumbai, to now here in Dil Walon Ki Delhi, we are here for the Manchester City football and its partnership with the JAIN Sports. And we have a living legend in the house, Mr. Terry Phelan. So Terry, how was your experience for today?
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. If you can tell by me voice, I've been doing a lot of speeches to the parents about the programme, programme which is going to be different, a programme which has got nostalgia, a programme which is exciting, and a programme which fits all the students what we're looking at this present time. So yeah, Delhi is really give us a good surprise. Obviously you see the infrastructure and all, and lots of children coming through with the parents and asking loads of questions and hopefully giving them the right answers. But I think it's about, you know, bringing that fun aspect and all to it. When you come to trials or tryouts per se, it's important that you get the right blend with the coaches who are coming on board, who are going to be coaching them, and the assessors, and then all the staff around it and all, you know, the staff who are putting the tents up, the staff who are putting, you know, the chairs out, yourself who's doing the MCing, and
yes.
You know, I think it's crucial that you get it right, and I think we've got it right over the last 3 cities we've done.
And what made JAIN Sports believe that this is the right time to bring the international sports model to India?
Yeah, I think it's been in the making for a couple of years. They've had a look at it. Manchester City Football Club, they don't just work with anybody. You know, if you look at them, they've got probably 9 or 10 different clubs around the world, so they're doing it right on and off the field. Off the field, they're trying to grow the numbers, you know, and give students a chance and keep the dreams alive and keep the candle burning. And I think that's what JAIN's looked at, and they've gone, listen, we've got the facility, we've got a 350-acre facility, you know, we've got the apparatus to do it, we've got the apparatus, you know, to bring it further, so why can't we do it? And I do believe that when you bring a brand in like Manchester City, who only look for the good people, by the way, then it speaks volumes that what JAIN have done and the collaboration of Manchester City to grow the game for the participants and give them that hope that, yes, they can go over to Manchester, yes, we will have coach educators on board, we'll set a methodology and a philosophy. I think that's key, and I just think it's give everybody that push.
And what are some of the gaps that the system aims to resolve?
No,
especially at the grassroots level.
I think that little bit of professionalism, you know, with the grassroots, down to the grassroots. Just because they're at the grassroots, it doesn't mean they can't learn. Because there's some exciting students in India. I've been all over in India. I've been here for an awful long time, and you know, you've got private providers now who are pumping a lot of money into the grassroots at this, you know, to grow the sport here and that ecosystem. And I think it's great what JAIN's doing now. I think what ties it off a little bit different is bringing an international brand on campus. And yeah, there's international brands everywhere else, but how can we be different? Well, we've got Manchester City, and there's not a lot of EPL clubs now in India and growing the sport. You know, I think there's one, Tottenham, I think, are down in Bangalore, but on campus with what we've got and the ownership, what they're looking at the bigger picture. Yes, they want to grow Olympians out of JAIN Sports. We want to grow healthy, good, honest people as well as football players, and give them the chance to travel abroad, and all the children, give them the chance to travel abroad and just be happy and bring them into a good environment where they're going to learn different objectives about the game of football.
What are some of the value system that JAIN Sports is trying to inculcate in the kids that will be in that ecosystem where you are catering to their nutrition, the diet, the academics, and the extra top-notch facilities, be it the turfs, be it the coaching, be it the mentorship? What are some of the value systems that you're trying to inculcate?
Well, listen, if you look at JAIN as a whole, an educational institute, 30 long years, you know, and if you look at different countries and different students come from different, maybe 20 different countries, you know, coming to JAIN, and people wouldn't think of that. So they've got that in a nutshell, you know. They've got 16 other different sports on site and all, you know, and JAIN Sports and the football is just the icing on the cake, just the icing on the cake. What we want is like-minded students integrating together to get that common goal, to be an Olympian, to be a football player, to have that success. And that can be anywhere they can be a football player. You know, but we want to give them the nucleus for the students to be able to go out and say, you know what? In 20 years, I was at JAIN and it did change my life. And I think that's what JAIN's given them at the moment. This comes from the owner and the leader. This is what he wants. He wants good people, right down to the coaching, the admin staff, right down to the students what come on board. You've probably heard me saying we want good people. That's his philosophy. And it's not just about the football, it's bringing them on board and creating that wonderful environment for them, where they can grow, where they can have fun, where they can have laughter, where they can grow, where they can manifest. And you know what? For me, it's bringing them on a journey to be successful at some stage when they're older.
What does success look like for JAIN Sports with this program 3 to 5 years from now?
Trying to, again, capture the talented students, bring them in, and then nurture them in the right way to allow them to be successful. Not just in football, but in life. On the educational front, on the sporting front, but just be a good human being. And that's what we're looking for, and that's where we want to be different. Environment's key. The facility is key, you know, to grow it, to expand it. And that's what JAIN are doing. They're willing to grow it, they're willing to expand it. But at the end of the day, they just want nice, homely people who come in and you hear them laughing and joking through the corridors of JAIN Sports.
Thank you so much, Tariq.